Tsunami Survival Stories. Written by Chantelle Greenhills. Introduction. December 26, 2004 is a day that people all around the world will never forget. It was the day when an earthquake caused large ocean waves, or tsunami. The giant waves, some as high as 3-story buildings, swept over islands and coastal towns around the Indian Ocean. It was the day when hundreds of thousands of people got lost or died. It was the day when millions of people lost their homes. It was the day when buildings turned to rubble and cars and trees were scattered everywhere. Here are some stories of that day. Countries affected by the tsunami: Asia, India, Bangladesh, Burma, Thailand, Somalia, Kenya, Tanzania, Sri Lanka, Malaysia, Indonesia, Indian Ocean, Madagascar, Mauritius, Key, earthquake. Tsunami baby. Namita Roy's baby was born on the day the tsunami struck. Lakshmi Roy, his wife Namita, who was soon to have a baby, and their son lived on Hut Bay Island. Hut Bay Island is one of the Andaman and Nicobar Islands in the Indian Ocean. On December 26, the Roys felt the ground shake and knew that something was very wrong. Location of Hut Bay Island: Asia, India, Burma, Bangladesh, Thailand, Sri Lanka, Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Indian Ocean, Hut Bay Island, Malaysia, Indonesia. Namita Roy gave birth to baby Tsunami 3 weeks before he was due to be born. Lakshmi Roy quickly helped his wife and son into his rickshaw. He rode into the forest that was on higher ground. A few hours later, Namita's baby was born. But she and the baby were not well enough to stay in the forest. So, Lakshmi and some other people took her back down to the village. When they got there, they found that the village had been destroyed. All the docks had been destroyed, too. Boats could not get close to the shore. The villagers helped get the mother and baby out to a boat that took them to a hospital on a nearby island. Lakshmi and Namita Roy named their baby son Tsunami. 15 days in the ocean. Arya Frizel spent 15 days in the ocean after the December 26 tsunami hit. He had been helping build a house in Kalong. Kalong is a fishing village on the Indonesian island of Sumatra. When the tsunami hit, Ari was carried out into the ocean. He hung onto a piece of wood to stay afloat. Ari had been in the water for 2 days before he saw a small boat floating past. He climbed into it. Later, he saw a large raft with a roof. Ari left the leaking boat and swam to the raft. Arya Frizel was lucky to survive the tsunami. Location of Kalong: Asia, Burma, Andaman and Nicobar Islands, Thailand, Kalong, Malaysia, Indian Ocean, Sumatra, Indonesia. Arya Frizel's rescuers found him floating on this raft. For many days, all Ari ate was coconuts that floated by. All he drank was rainwater. On the 15th day, just when Ari was sure he would die, he saw a container ship. He stood up and waved out. But the ship passed him by. Then, it turned around and came back. The captain sounded the ship's horn. When he heard the horn, Ari knew that he was going to be saved. Arya Frizel told journalists what happened to him after the tsunami dragged him out into the ocean. The Morgan Sea Gypsies. The Morgan Sea Gypsies have lived on and beside the Andaman Sea for hundreds of years. For part of the year they live on their boats, fishing. For the rest of the year, they live on islands near Thailand. Some Morgan people live on one of the Surin Islands. Location of Surin Islands: Asia, Andaman and Nicobar Islands, Andaman, SEA, Burma, Surin Islands, Thailand. Morgan Sea Gypsies make a living from the ocean. They catch and sell fish and other sea creatures. These people have many traditions. One tradition is telling stories about why things happen. One story tells that if the tide goes out a long way very quickly, it will return with great force. When the tide goes out fast, the people must move away from the shore and go into the hills. When this group of Morgan people saw such a tide on December 26th, they remembered the story and went into the hills. Knowing this story saved the lives of about 200 people. The Morgan Sea Gypsies village was destroyed by the tsunami. Animals and earthquakes. Very few animals died in the December 26th tsunami. Some people think this is because animals can sense danger, such as an earthquake, before it happens. Many people said that animals had been behaving in strange ways before the tsunami struck. Flamingos moved to higher ground. Elephants trumpeted and ran for the hills. These two elephants, Tong Dang and Ploy, live in Khao Lak in Thailand. On December 26th, they sensed the danger and saved themselves by rushing up into the forest before the first wave crashed onto the shore. Many other elephants ran with them and were also saved. Dolphin rescue. Khao Lak is a village in Thailand that was destroyed by the tsunami. The villagers who survived saw nothing but horror every day as they tried to rebuild their lives. One day, they saw two dolphins in a small lagoon. The dolphins had been caught up in the tsunami and washed into the lagoon. Now they were trapped. Location of Khao Lak. Asia, Burma, Andaman and Nicobar Islands, Andaman SEA, Thailand, Khao Lak. This Indo-Pacific humpback dolphin was trapped in a lagoon in Khao Lak. Rescuers get ready to return this dolphin to the sea. The rescuers saw the dolphins as a symbol of hope and they worked hard to return them to the ocean. They used fishing nets and caught one of the dolphins. They loaded it onto a truck and drove it to the ocean. It swam safely away into the Andaman Sea. The second dolphin did not survive. But helping the dolphins gave the people hope for their own lives. Tsunami destruction. Khao Lak before the tsunami struck. Khao Lak after the tsunami struck. In this satellite picture, you can see the damage the tsunami caused. The ocean has carved into the land. Buildings and fields have been destroyed. Glossary. Afloat, floating on the surface of the water. Lagoon, a shallow body of water near the ocean. Rickshaw, a small vehicle that has two wheels and is pulled by one or two people. Rubble, broken bricks and stone from destroyed buildings. Symbol, a thing that represents or stands for something else. Traditions, customs passed down from one generation of people to another.